Hi, this is Joe Bolen, and I'd like to show you how I use ManyCam for my tutorials and also for my online lessons that I have with my students. Now, I use the overview mode and I love it. And it gives me a chance to use my full desktop to be very creative and help explain things that I might not be able to do otherwise. Also, with the new whiteboard, we can easily save, change things, and add new enhancements to it. So let's learn how to use the overlay mode and the whiteboard. Now I'm in ManyCam now and recording the screen as you would be as a user of ManyCam or ManyCam. And what I'd like to do is show you how I get things set up for this. The first thing I like to do is go into the general settings. I go up to the cog wheel, click on settings, and I turn on the switch to overlay mode when ManyCam is hidden. That way it'll automatically work for me and I won't have to think about it in the process. Otherwise, if I were to minimize ManyCam, it would just go to the taskbar and I wouldn't have access to the overlay mode. But this way, when I automatically minimize, I have the overlay mode available to me. Okay, so now I've got that. Let's do a little setup first. And I've got a preset here that I haven't used, and I'm going to use this one. So what I'm going to do is use this one by clicking on it. And I'm going to use the desktop. So I'm going to come over here and click on the desktop, and I'm going to go full screen. Now, as long as I'm in the environment here, things will look fine. But if I were to click and transition, it might confuse you because all of a sudden you'll see a tunneling effect occur as each screen sees itself. So this is just to get things ready for the desktop. And the next thing I do is I go over and actually get things set. And to do that, I go up to the top and click on the overlay mode button. And that gets me ready to go. And I'll go to the desktop first, transition, and then to the overlay mode. And now you can come to my desktop. Okay, I'm now in live view mode with my desktop being shown. And you can see that I have a nice organized series of icons on my desktop. Not really. So we want to clean this up before we show it to the world. And so I'm going to right click on my desktop, go to view, and choose to hide the icons. And now I've got a clean desktop to work with. You'll also notice I have the overlay mode menu from ManyCam working. Right now it's recording, and you can see my microphone going up and down. And I'd like to also introduce to you the video here. I'm going to click on this, and you'll see a video that comes over here. And right now it's showing the desktop live area, but I can change that to show other presets I have. Right now I'm going to change it to the preset of main, which is with me. And I can change whether it's round or rectangular, or I can get rid of the background as well and make it transparent. And now I can move myself down to the corner down here and hide myself on that so I can be in the presentation. Now let's take a look at this menu and bring up the drawing part. So I'm going to put the overlay mode menu over to the side, click on the drawing tool, and the drawing tool comes up. Now I can draw right on the desktop, and I can do that, for example, clicking on the pen area and picking a color. Let's go with yellow. And the size looks right and everything. So let's try to draw my name with my mouse. There we go. Also, if I want to be more precise, I can come over to the text box area, choose a color. Let's go with a bright color. And I'm going to make it 72 points. And let's make it bold. And I create a text box. And I'm going to say hello world. There we go. And I can move hello world around wherever I want on that. Also, I have the ability to do other things, and I'm going to show you that later on. One thing I also want to bring to your attention is the 3 vertical dots. The 3 vertical dots allow me to save what I've done, save to a file to use later perhaps, or open a file of one that maybe I've already created. So those are options as well for this. Now, let's clean up our desktop. I'm going to use the trash can real quick. And let's show the whiteboard. And so I'm going to click on the whiteboard toggle. And there's our whiteboard. Now, personally, that's too small for me. So what I do is I come over to the side, grab the sizing handles, and make it nice and big. So there we go. Now, let's try that drawing again. And I'm going to choose, let's go with blue this time. And I'll try to do my name. There we go. And we can do the text box again. And this time, let's go with something, maybe, there's a nice color. And I'll stay with the 72 point. Okay, once again, I can move it around. Let's see some other things we can do. Well, let's add a little love. So I'm going to hit the hearts, and these are little stamps, hearts. So however long I hold down my mouse button, I get a series of hearts. And wherever you have a lot of love, you probably also have a little music playing in the background. So let's put in those 8th notes. There we go. So we can do all kinds of things. We also have the ability to have the highlighter. Unfortunately, it's only the color yellow and it's only one size. So you might want to think of it just as a marker, or you can mark over a word, for example, but it will not change to match the font size you're using. You'll just have to use it back and forth till you've highlighted the word you want in the way you want it. Now, while I'm at it, let's take a look at the erase tool. I'm going to click on this, and I can erase through that. You can see it slowly going away. Or I can hit the undo, take away the erase. Now take away the yellow on that. And if I click, I think here, and we've got it all back to the way we had it. Now I can come back once again to the area here. I can change the opacity of the whiteboard, and you'll see that. Bring back in the desktop, whatever I want. So there are different ways we can use that. And once again, I can save the file or open another file into the whiteboard. And of course, I can clean up everything with the trash can, which is nice. And I can get rid of my whiteboard, come back, click out of the drawing tool, and get back to where I came from, which in this case is going over to my main menu of me presenting it. So I'm still in overlay mode, but my desktop has been switched with the hotkeys to my main video camera's screen. So that gives you an idea how we can use that. And I hope you'll try out the ManyCam with the overlay mode and taking advantage of the whiteboard and the drawing abilities within it. Now, just to let you know that even if you choose not to do that, you have the ability to create your own little preset. Here's a chalkboard that I created with a preset on that using the drawing tools. And this is another way to go at approaching drawing. But I do like the overlay mode because it gives me a lot more flexibility and I can quickly create what I want. So take advantage of learning about ManyCam and all its advantages. And until then, take care.